Hello, hello. I see that we have a few people already here that joined us early. Hi, Troy. How are you doing? I seen your van tour. Love it, love it. And we got Tina from The Outsider is here. She's the one actually did the tour, so go check her channel out. And I will leave your link down below. Fast the sun is out. Yeah, right. I know. It's out for a second, then it gets dull and gloomy. I don't know. I've been taking this sweatshirt off and on like 5 times today. So it's been kind of crazy. And for the last month, I've had to deal a little bit with my sinuses. So hello and hello. Anybody else out there, make sure you jump in and say hi and let me know. I know where Tina and Troy are from, good old Michigan. But anybody else out here lurking, make sure you say hello, jump in, say something, let me know where you're from. Just making sure all the tech is good. So, just making sure. There we go. I was waiting for it. I knew there would be something. Yes, the Michiganders. That's right. Gotta love it. Now I'm going to Florida here in a little bit. I'm going to Indiana. My son-in-law Troy, not the one on here, but my son-in-law Troy, and my daughter's birthdays were these months, April's and May's, so we're going down there to see it. Funny story, Troy, that my son-in-law is actually working on his pilot's license. Maybe I already told you that, but I know you're a pilot, or a retired pilot maybe. Retired, I think you told me. But hang on, I don't think my mic is on, so bear with me a minute. Let me make sure that my mic is doing good, because I think it was. All right, hopefully my mic is doing good. I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to these new mics. My kids, got me for my birthday these new mics. And it's yet another piece of technology you have to learn. So, and Tina says we can hear you good. Good. Thanks for that. And I started flying in 84. There you go. Yeah, if my son-in-law would love to talk to you for hours about flying. He, I don't know if you've ever been, because you're over on the east side of the state, but over here in Hastings, and I'm sure other cities, but this is one he's drilled in my head, is that Dawn Patrol, maybe, is what it's called, where pilots come in to small airports and they have like a breakfast and fundraising, and I don't know, they do airplane rides and all kinds of stuff, and he goes to that when he can, but now that they're in Indiana, it's like a 7-hour drive for them, so it's rare that they get to go to that. But that was over in Hastings Airport. So, you know, over in Hastings area, that's a van trip. You can always do that. Tina says, I have a mic set, but I need to get it connected plus I need a laptop now. Ugh, yeah, laptops are not cheap. I'm very cautious about my laptop because I already bought one. I don't want to buy another one. I don't know about your phone, but this mic that I got, which I have not even connected this to my phone yet. But it has a cord where I just plug it in and it connects that way. So yeah, I haven't even tried it on my phone. I've been just doing it with live stream. I think this is like the third time I've actually used these mics. So, but hey, maybe we can use my laptop if we're gonna do the Monday thing. So, maybe we can get that done. Need to connector because I only do Androids too. So, I don't have all that money for Apple stuff. And I can't, my mother, stepmother, I guess. But, she, has Apple, and when she has trouble, I'm like, alright, I can figure it out. And I just hold my breath and I bungle around in there, and then I finally figure out how to do Apple. But it's always, it's trying to work with your left brain when you're used to your right brain, and they don't cross very easy for me, but I do what I can. Anyways, let's get into the topic. But yeah, all mine are Androids. Before we get into the topic, back to the thing, I don't know if yours has a cord or not, but that, we're divided in the house. If you're used to Apple, it is easy for you. I don't own Apple. My daughters love Apple. I have 2 daughters that are Apple lovers and another daughter that loves Androids, and I'm an Android. So Troy, sorry, I'm an Android girl. You can keep your Apple, but I don't think Apple is easier to use. But that's okay. We can still be friends. And if you think it's easier to work with, then hey, at least I don't have to worry about you asking me questions about an Apple then. Tina. All right. Yeah, your girls need to stick together. Yeah. All right, so for the topic, it was talking about, well, as the thumbnail and title said, that we are going to talk about tools. One of my favorite topics. So, when you first, and a little thing, I know that everybody has different comfort zones, shall we put it that way, about what work they want to do on their vehicle, what they feel comfortable doing, what they know knowledge with. And my normal answer to everybody is, if you don't know anything, Google it, YouTube it, call somebody. And if you're going to start van life, or if you are doing van life, which I know Tina you are, Troy, you're starting out van life, I think main reason why we start van life or we do van life is because it gives you the freedom to travel, pay less bills, and you don't have to worry about the neighborhoods. You can move wherever you don't want to deal with, and it's more manageable. With that being said, repairs, being stuck on the side of the road, learning how to do simple repairs. You know, my van is always moving. I mean, unless I'm out in the boondocks, out in the sticks, then I park for like a week, 2 weeks at a time. But other than that, I'm constantly on the move. So that means, you know, like I've got hooks up here there we go, up there and over there for hats. You know, I've got headphones for when I'm editing. I've got hats. I've got all kinds of stuff with hooks. And I've screwed them in. When you're going down 2 tracks or going down dirt roads, your car is moving, screws come loose, your electrical, you always need to tighten something up, especially if you've got an electric system. You always need to go into your electrical system. Make sure the screws are tight, because that will arc and it will cause a fire. And that is nothing we all want to deal with. We love our vehicles. We need them. So, bare minimum. And I have just a little storage unit. Actually it's a shoe organizer on the side of my van. And it's quite messy. But I carry, let me see. We'll do a van moving here. Hang on. So I have this, and right in here, I have tools. These are the ones that are easy accessible for the stuff that I need right away. So, always need a Phillips screwdriver. Let's see if we can get this in a shot. Oh, wrong way. So, Phillips screwdriver, a flathead. God knows, I don't know. I don't like flatheads or minuses, some people call them, or pluses. And then I have this little gadget, and it's actually a socket wrench, and I have a deep well socket. This one goes into my heater box for my diesel heater. We were having lots of leaks, and we installed it in the dead middle of winter up in Holland. It was a headache, and we just kind of made mistakes. So we always had to open the box. I always had a socket and a wrench, and then I have a seat that goes where I'm sitting for my grandson, and that goes bolted in, and I have a socket for that. So that lives here. Again, these are for my electrical box, for where you have your fuse box. It has little screws that you need to tighten up. I try to do that at least every 6 months. Trying to do it faithfully, but I do forget it. And I bought one of them organized garages and hung it on the side of my bathroom door. Yeah, this one I actually bought at the Dollar General store, the Dollar Tree, because I cut it and put it here. And then I have, where my electrical box is, I have another strip of it. And then on my door, I have another strip where my dustpan goes. So I cut the crap out of mine. I love that thing. This one on my door, it's actually screwed right into the door. The other ones are screwed into the wood cabinet for my electrical box. But in van life, I think that organizational hack or tip, that shoe organizer, is great. Small spaces, you can cut them up, organize them however you want. You can make them the whole length. You could do just one, however you want to do it. So I love them. I think they're great. So at the bare minimum, them tools are one of the things. Now on my van, and you've got to know your own van, but my wheels, my tires are, they've got a locking lug nut. Say that 5 times fast. So I have a special tool that, let me see if I can get it in. So it has these little ridges. Normally, if you have a lug, just a nut, it's this shape. And that's majority of them. But for some reason, my tires, they must have upgraded the rims, but it only had 66,000 miles on it, so I don't think it was really that. But anyway, so I need this, and then I put this in there, and then I can take off my tires. So if I get a flat, I do have a spare for my van. I could change out my tire on the side of the road. I'm not stuck, and I can keep going. I also too carry a portable power. It's just it's a Ryobi, which I love Ryobi, but it's a portable air tank. It's not a tank. It doesn't have a tank with it, but it's just a portable one. I'm lost for words right now. It's done left me, but it will inflate a tire really quickly. I've used it on rafts for the river. I've used it for my tires. Yeah, it's a air compressor. Thank you. without the tank. It is super small. It's in my trunk. I should have gotten that out in my garage. But it has these little batteries. You just plug it in. I was actually charging it. So I was charging that because I have a radio that I listen to. You could get a Ryobi Carvac. Oh, that's going on my list. I have the Ryobi drill. Well, I have the screwdriver / drill set, and so I have power tools in this van. I have let's see if I can get this in the shot. I have a bad thing with tools. So this is a soft shell toolbox. And this has lots of different tools into it. Another thing that I didn't show you guys I had over here, which I pulled it out earlier. That's what happens when I start getting ready. I pulled out tools and then I lost them. How do you lose them? It's that hide and go seek in my van again. Huh. Where did it go? Yep, it's gonna be hiding on me. But anyways, there I have adjustable wrench that I put in here that I use. And then when I was in my car, it was a Buick LeSabre and it had a huge trunk. So I pretty much used that trunk for tools. And because I was still doing a lot of mechanical work, I would I put that whole trunk was filled with tools. That poor car. I abused that car. But oh, boondocking with Boomer. How you doing, Lance? Nice to see you. Another YouTuber with a channel. How are you doing, Lance? So, going back to my Buick, I had every tool. I had extra serpentine belts. And if you feel comfortable enough with, and if your vehicle is easy enough to put on a serpentine belt, I always recommend you carrying an extra serpentine belt with you and putting one on. Tina, I think your Dodge would be a little bit hard to do on the side of the road. If I remember right, it's a little complicated on that one. Heck, even on this one, it would be a little bit complicated. And I know, Tina, you're not, you don't like working on cars or anything like that. So, you know, you don't feel comfortable working on cars probably because of the knowledge, which I get. You know, that makes job security for mechanics, which is all good. I just shared you out to Mellow Nomad's adventure page. Oh, cool. Thank you, Tina. I recently changed the dry belt on my truck. The van will be too hard to do myself. Yeah, it's a tight spot. You've got a V8, right, Troy? You've got the 350, I think it is, in yours. Yeah, it's too hard for me to do. Yeah. Yeah, it would be a challenge. But if you carry the belt with you, if you had the room, at least you wouldn't have to wait for them to the 355. Yeah, the 606. Yeah. Yeah, nice motor. But yeah, at least if you have the part on hand, you wouldn't have to wait if they don't have it in service or, you know, in stock. That can be a bonus. Some places won't, some will. But yeah, it's, you know, especially in the vans, they are tight, but they are manageable if you want to rack your knuckles. But I do have small hands, so it makes it a little bit easier, but that's me. But anyways, going back to the tools, even if, you know, you aren't very big into mechanicals or whatnot, there are some easier ways or smaller tool sets that you could get that you never know, what you could use in a situation. It may, whatever the situation is, I always recommend at least having some tools on hand, because you never know, maybe somebody driving by could help you, or get you at least to the next location. So I have lots of different scenarios, lots of different things. Even as when I was a kid, we always drove, and for some reason, when we went on a family vacation, the vehicle would break, the alternator would go out, whatever it be. Let's see, we've had batteries go out, we've had alternators go out, we had a water pump go out in the van. And sometimes people stopped on the side of the road, helped my dad get the parts off, get it to the repair shop. And these newer cars are getting a little bit harder to work on, and I understand that, but there are still some simple repairs that people can do. So having a minimum, and you don't have to go in debt to have a huge toolbox or have a lot of space. For example, this guy, it's not that big. I mean, it's like maybe 2 feet, but it's like 6 inches wide. So it's pretty decent, and it has a good amount of starter tools that you could get, and they're, you can get all different sizes and shapes to fit in your location. Nowadays, you go to the tool store, like a Sears, or if there's any available, I don't know, even Harbor Freight, they have some. But let me show you guys this. It comes with, here's the adjustable wrench. Here's some Allen wrenches, all different kinds of screwdrivers. It has these screwdrivers over here. There we go. Different screwdrivers, needle nose, even if you have to cut a wire. These right here, sorry, camera. Come on, there we go. These right here, these will cut a wire, and you could attach the wire back if it's been broke. And then it has all your sockets. It's got a hammer. It's got your wrench. It's got extendable. It's got tape measure, open end wrenches. They're not the greatest quality, but in a pinch, they would be better than nothing. And it's a box that closes up, latches. You can store it away and hopefully never have to use it. And that's the other thing that I have found, is that the more you prepare, the less things happen. It's like Murphy goes away if you prepare. So just having these tools, maybe you won't ever have a breakdown. I don't know. But you know, my car was a 98 Buick LeSabre. And let me tell you what, it had 220,000 miles onto it. And I had a full-size jack in there. I had jack stands. I had all these tools plus a whole lot more tools. I took a bunch of my tools from my garage and made me my own toolbox. I had ball joint separators. I had breaker bars. I had more tools than I had clothes in my car. So let's jump in. I think I already said that it's too tight in there. Yeah, it is. It's a small space because I have the V6 and it's a small one too. And that's probably where I would be taking the doghouse off and going from underneath and coming up the front. It just, yeah, it's very limited on space for tools. Yeah, I mean, your rig is very nice though. Thank you. I do like that kit. I haven't used it that often because I haven't really needed to. I try to keep up with all the maintenance, and when I go on long trips, like I'm heading down to Florida here in like a week. Well, Indiana, then Florida. I replaced all my inner and outer tie rods, got new tires, sway bar links. So, you know, I did all that with my garage tools, so I didn't have to break these out. My daughter has my garage now, mainly for my grandson's toys, but I still get to keep some of my tools in there. So, but let's see. You can trim your fingernails with them wire cutters. Yeah, hopefully you don't get no skin with that. That would be a hurt one. You could be a mobile mechanic. I love that idea, and I really thought about doing that. Unfortunately, I have vertigo, and that's one of the reasons why I don't do mechanics anymore, is because the older I get, the worse it is. So yeah, I actually know a mobile mechanic down in Virginia Beach who wanted to hire me on a family vacation because my power booster went out. So yeah, that was quite the interesting thing. But yeah, I thought about doing a mobile mechanic service, and I quite often will, if I see someone on the side of the road and I, you know, think that I can help them and it looks like a safe area, I will pull over and I will try to help them, just because I wouldn't want to be stuck on the side of the road. So yeah, I would stop and try to help them out. If I think I have the tools and I could help them. And like I said, if it was a safe area, you know. But yeah, I've often, yeah, I would love to do the auto, I seriously would load this van up with a bunch more tools. But yeah, if you've ever dealt with vertigo, it is a wicked beast to deal with. And like right now, with the weather going from snowing to 70 degrees to 30 degrees, my sinuses are going crazy. So just looking up to the ceiling sometimes, I'm dizzy and about ready to fall over because I'm spinning. It's almost like I'm drunk. And that's not a good thing. So I have to be cautious with some of the things. So, you know, replacing a blower motor that's going upside down under the dash, not a good idea for me anymore. Laying on my back and trying to get, even when I did the inner and outer tie rod ends, to just put my head underneath the van, it was pretty hard to do. Vertigo is a serious issue. I feel you. Yeah, it's definitely not something that I would wish on anybody. It's a rough go, and I've had it. It never used to bother me. I mean, I got it from a car accident. So I've had it since 2010. I've had it. And it kind of dissipated for a long time, but then as I'm getting older, it seems to lurk its ugly head around a lot lately. And so, you know, you just learn to live with the things that life throws you, you know. It's kind of like that old saying, life throws you lemons, make lemonades, you know. Mom had it, but it went away, thankfully. Nice. Yeah, and there is self-treatment that you can do to, you know, put it back in alignment, you know, roll over. And I mean, there's lots of information out there on the web to put the crystals back into where they're supposed to be. And I do that quite often. But depending on how you get it, like I think because I had a severe brain injury, I mean, my brain was all swollen. I had road rash all over my neck, and I was in really bad shape. So I'm just thankful to be alive. If all I have is the vertigo and some brain fog every now and then, I am grateful for that, because it took me about 6 months to learn how to re-walk on my one leg. So I'll take what I get, and I just tried to enjoy life. But yeah, vertigo is nothing to mess with when it's really active. It's not a good situation. So that's why I don't do the mechanic work anymore. And even if you know, people think, well, you're only dizzy for like 5 minutes. Right, you're only dizzy for 5-10 minutes. But then afterwards, you're nauseous, you're not feeling good, and it wrecks your whole day. So it's a long-lasting side effects after the spinniness. You know, it's like a headache or a hangover. There we go, hangover. So, you know, anyways, back to the tools. You know, depending on your comfort levels on different tools that you have, I like working on cars. I love being able to fix my vehicle, get it off the side of the road. Another tool that I always make sure, I mean, most of my cars always have full coverage, but know your insurance policy. 90% of insurance companies, I think, have a towing package or a towing perk. Sometimes it's to the nearest nearest repair shop. Sometimes it's 200 miles. Sometimes it's, you know, you have to pay the first $50. But always be prepared for a vehicle needing repaired. Well, if you can't do it yourself, the next best tool is to know your car insurance, or, you know, I know that there's like AAA that you can get. I don't know if that's still a good product. I had that decades ago. Let's see, I had added Robert's screwdriver to my van kit. Robust. My interior build out and the fasteners made in Canada, they love. I'm not familiar with that. I may not know it by its name, though. That may be the other thing. I may not know. And yeah, I mean, that's fasteners right there. I recently, you know, I put a new curtain up in front of my van, and if you go back on my channels, I have another curtain system that blocks out my windshield and my two side windows. So if I go to a Love's or a truck stop, or even at the rest area, I'll pop them curtains up, or I'll just slide this curtain over. But I use a snap kit that's in my toolbox. Let me get it out. I'll show you. And it's just a Phillips screwdriver. These snaps are phenomenal for any material. Let me see if I can get this. So you need a Phillips. Okay, come on, adjust. No. It's just a Phillips screwdriver. And then you screw that into your wall. And then that has a snap onto it. So the other side looks just like a button. And I love this kit. I have this for the curtain back there. I have it for the new curtain. I just installed that. And again, you need the tool for it to snap them together. But it's an easy way to, I don't like using the word stealth because it's not really, I'm not stealth. People look at my van and they know somebody's either living in here or you're traveling with it. But they don't know who's back here. So I'm stealth in it. My van's not stealth. For taper tip. Oh, okay. Yep. Kind of almost like an Allen wrench kind of thing, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. And it's kind of funny. I'm not really great on names. They go away. Let's see. My coffee maker. Did I miss something? You need a screwdriver for your coffee maker? Oh, you were selling your coffee maker. Okay. I forgot. You did tell me that this afternoon when we were talking. Maybe she had to leave for it, Troy. I think that's what she had told me, that she was selling it at around 6 o'clock or something. But she said that she was, so maybe she had to go do that. But anyways, if you're here, make sure that you say hi. Let me know you're here, where you're watching from. What kind of tools do you carry in your vehicle? Or what tools do you think you need to get on the road? Or what tools you're looking at for getting on the road? And if you're watching this on the replay, make sure you leave a comment down below telling me, if you've got a toolbox, don't think you need one, whatever. Everybody's got an opinion. So make sure you leave that in the comments. And I appreciate everybody watching. Oh, that's good. You sold your coffee maker. Some people would really hate to sell that thing. Some people live on that stuff. But anyways, so back to the tools, even for the interior stuff, and that I think is a really good thing. Even if you can't do the mechanical work, you should know the interiors of, maybe one of, this cabinet right here. It's got a door that opens up and it's got a hinge onto it. And it's actually got one that locks in place. If that thing goes out, it needs some screws. Take it out, get a new one, put it in. So you're going to need tools for that. Again, my fasteners for my curtains. I put screws up here with my little happy camper sign. You always need at least, I think, bare minimum is screwdrivers, some type of either an adjustable wrench. It's always better to be prepared than not. And the more you're prepared, I found that Murphy's Law leaves you alone. At least in my life, that's been my experience. So I always try to prepare for the worst case scenario. So I always have a ton of tools. Spring cleaning, I decided to pull everything out of my van. And let me see if I can pull this up. I had to, I ended up realizing how much tools I really did have. And these weren't even all the tools I had. But there's the one bag I just showed you. And then I have 3 other bags. There's all my Ryobis. I have a multi-tool cutter. And then I have a drill. Yep. And then I have a toolbox for all my electric, because I installed all my solar in my own van because I wanted to know if it malfunctioned, I'm the only one to blame. And if something goes wrong with it, at least I know what's wrong with it or how to diagnose it. If you're not knowledgeable about it, you can always learn. You may not know all the terminology, but at least the concept, then you can then diagnose it or help whoever is going to fix it get to the solution maybe a little bit faster. And even when I was a mechanic and had my customers come to me, they're like, I don't know what's wrong with my vehicle, but it's doing XYZ. The more detail they gave me, it took me less time to fix it, which then makes my job easier and less money they have to spend. Because if I have to diagnose and I have to crawl through a whole car from start to finish, it may take me 2-3 hours. That's on them. I have to charge them for them 2-3 hours. But if I have it isolated, then I'm pretty okay. I can get into this spot and I can diagnose it really quickly. And it's less money for them. They help me out, I help them out. So at least know the concepts. Try to figure out whether it's, a noise or a liquid or, whatever. And even with hoses, you've got radiators, you got your radiator hoses. If one splits, taking off a radiator hose, most of the time the clips are either flathead screwdrivers or they're a socket. Either case, that toolbox, the black one, that's sufficient. And that'll get you back on the road with extra coolant. But, it's a easy way to repair it. I just about knocked over my battery charger. So anyways, I just, try to be prepared. The more tools you have that you have room for, the better it is, the safer it is for you, and maybe the better experience van life is going to be when you're starting out. And, maybe you end up changing something in your van and you need some screwdrivers or need some bolts or, whatever may be the case. At least you have something on hand to get you to where you need. Get you to that repair shop or whatever. I mean, I carry a plug set in one of them toolboxes that I showed you. I use all soft-shelled toolboxes just so that way they fit into small little crevices. I can crunch them down. It's more pliable. And you can get them really anywhere. I probably won't carry any fluids except beer and gin. Well, I go for the whiskey, but hey, yeah, that fluid is always important. Yeah, and I don't carry a lot of fluids on hand either. I do carry some PB Blaster. And then I do carry, I think that's all the fluid I carry, but this van doesn't leak oil. My van, it burnt oil a little bit. So every time I did an oil change, they always told me it was at quart low. I'm like, yeah, because it needs to be changed and it uses it. It's got 220,000 miles on it. Okay. I'm a quart low on 3,000 miles. I'll deal with that. So I always kept an extra quart of oil on hand for that one. I put it in a tote so it wouldn't leak all over my vehicle, all over my car. But yeah, and I don't do the beer. I'm not a beer person. Never really been a beer person. I like Coronas every now and then. On a nice hot day in a grill, Corona's a good thing. I don't really consider that beer, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, But yeah, I don't carry a lot of fluids with me. I do always carry water with me. So for refrigerant, or not refrigerant, not the AC unit, for the radiator in a pinch, if I needed water, I have that. As long as it's not winter time, that's okay. It's going to be flushed anyways. But the water is more for showers and dishes and, you know, all that good stuff. But, you know, that, speaking of that, you know, Tina, I know you're on here, and Troy, I don't know how you feel about going out into the woods, but, you know, maybe this midsummer we could do a camping trip up north and go out boondocking. I have 31 gallons of fresh. Yeah, well, there you go. But your rig is a little bit different than mine. Your rig is super nice, and you probably stole it, the way it sounds. So I was really excited to see that van tour. That was a pretty cool boondocking trip. Would be fun. Yeah, I know this great location out in the state lands, which, you know, in Michigan, if you find some state land, all you need is a permit to go for 14 days off grid. There's no power, no hookups. You know, and there's, you know, all over Muskegon, down the Muskegon River, but on the Muskegon River, going up north in Michigan, there is lots of boondocking places, and they're beautiful. So, yeah, we'll maybe have to kind of look at that if you guys are interested in doing that. Really cool. I love doing boondocking. So, anyways, it's getting to that hour time, and I don't want to keep you all, though I've quite enjoyed this conversation. And if you are watching this on the replay, Tina the Outsider, her link will be down in the description about an hour after this. I need to be careful going off low clearance and very heavy. Yeah, I'm low clearance too, so, you know, I'm pretty sure where I go, you should be able to go too. And I'm heavy. It's nothing like the Florida. I know you watched, and I actually cringed knowing that you watched that video. That video that you watched about the Ocala state land, that was an older video. I think that was even with my older name. I don't even know if that was Travel Around Susie or my older name, but that was a really poor, bad movie or video. But I appreciate you watching it, and feel free to go back and look at all the other videos. But the places that I go up north, they're not as that was a good video, Run Around Susie. Yeah, yep, that was my original name for this YouTube video or YouTube channel, because I love that song. I love the older music, and I was running around around the United States, so it fit. But yeah, it was just too competing with that song, and You can't compete with an older song like that. So I can't top that. Yeah, I love all the oldie musics though. Brown Eyed Girl, even though I'm blue-eyed, Brown Eyed Girl is one of my other favorite songs. There's just, I have a huge gamut of music that I love to listen to, so that's a whole nother topic, because I listen to some really old. Actually, one of my songs is Mrs. Jones. It's a ringtone on my phone, Mrs. Jones. It's kind of an older song too. But anyways, so yeah. If you guys are watching this on the replay and have any questions about tools or any information that, you know, I didn't cover, you thinking that needs to be covered, feel free to leave that in the description or in the comments. And yep. And actually that's the whole ringtone on my phone. So yep, I definitely love the music. But now you're getting me off topic. But that's okay. I love my music. I love to go support local live bands. I'm always looking for new bands to listen to. Love to do all kinds of dancing and listening to music, so it's always a good thing. I think music is kind of great for the soul. It's like laughter is good medicine, so is music. But anyways, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for showing up, and make sure that you go check out Tina the Outsider. Again, I do have that, will have that linked below, and I am looking over, I have a bunch of questions on my community tab, and I thank you all for answering them questions. I am going through them, I am making notes, and I am going to start making some videos on some of that. So thank you for participating in that. I do look at them community posts after you guys answer them. I picked on you a little bit, Troy, for that one. Hopefully you didn't take it to heart. But I appreciate the answers, the comments, and until next week, I'll be doing this. I'll be on the road next week, Thursday, so that one will be an interesting live. So until then, safe travels, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye, guys.